All right, everyone. I am super excited to have Ashley Wilhelm here with me. She has been an amazing mentor, friend, and we've just been on this journey together. We're actually sideline sisters, and I just love her story from the how it's changed her life on the inside to the business opportunity and how it has changed the course of her entire life. You know, we always say the product will change your life, but Lavelle will change your future. So I'm just going to turn it over to you, Ashley. If you could just talk a little bit about your story, where you were before and what the Thrive experience, where you are now.
Sure. So, guys, my name is Ash Wilhelm. I am on the East Coast in Pennsylvania. It is cold. It has been snowing and icing here. So, I am just snuggled up in my office with my sweater. And Alma gave me a great excuse to actually do my hair and makeup today because I work from home with this business. So, Alma, thanks so much for having me on. It's always an honor to speak to your audience and reach new people. As you guys heard me say, I'm a full-time brand promoter with Lavelle. Wasn't always the case, guys. I was actually a language arts middle school teacher for 14 years. Whenever my son was 2 years old, I really started to feel the burn of, oh my gosh, I'm teaching middle schoolers all day long and I'm just completely mentally and emotionally drained. And then here I am going home in the evenings, and I have a little man on the move that needs me. There was no sitting down ever, right? And my husband and I were constantly in that survival mode of go to our day jobs, pay the bills, but still kind of not have a lot of wiggle room at the end of the month. And then try to figure out how we could have some energy left in our tank for ourselves, for each other, for our son in the evenings. So, whenever a really dear friend of mine invited me over to a barbecue, I actually saw our black label DFT on her forearm. Is that what you're wearing? Woo! I actually have white label on, but it's under my sleeve. If my light were brighter, you could probably see it. So she invited me over to this barbecue and she was wearing our wearable nutrition sticker. For those of you that don't know how Thrive works, it's so easy, guys. As someone who's taken a lot of vitamins through the years, I really love how you can get up in the morning and literally take it, shake it, wear it. Take your 2 plant-based capsules, shake up that gut health in a cup, also 15 grams of protein, and wear those absorbable vitamins. So I had no idea what wearable nutrition was, but I saw this black strip on Emily's arm, and my husband to this day swears up and down that the sun was purposely shining on that ray, that it was a sign. I asked her what the heck was going on. She looked amazing. She was losing weight. She was in a great mood. And I just was missing my sparkle. I thought if I can get just a little bit of that sparkle back that she has, I will be so happy. So Emily was very smart about it. She said, just call me tomorrow. We'll talk all about it. So I found out that for 6 months, she had been a secret thriver and she was ready to start sharing it with other people because she wanted to get her product for free. I said, you know what? Sign me up. Let's do it. She was so generous to me. She actually gave me 30 days worth of free DFTs. My husband and I had been through the mill with job layoffs, one in manufacturing and one in construction for him. So she knew that getting a third of the savings off of my monthly first pack would really just be something that would mean the world to me. And if I'm being honest, she needed one more brand promoter too. She was running for some really incredible cash bonuses that you can earn in your first 2 weeks of becoming a brand promoter. And she said, listen, there's no quotas, there's no obligations, there's no crazy hidden fees. Would you just click it since you're going to buy it anyways? And I said, sure. Thinking I'm never going to share it anyways, but sure, why not? I'll help my friend. And, she's giving me a great deal. So got the products in my hand. Love the simplicity of just waking up, knocking it out within the first 30 minutes of my day and going about my business. Let's face it, if I had to pack crazy containers and weigh foods and remember to take things 7, 8 times a day, it wouldn't have been sustainable. So I love the simplicity, love the taste of the shake, and that it was also very focused on pre and probiotics, not just protein. And then, of course, I think it was day 5. Well, then, of course, I love the wearable nutrition. I thought that was the coolest thing in the world because I had seen it for nicotine. I had seen it for birth control. I'd never seen it as a way to get vitamins. I thought this is a really innovative concept. I'm in. And I didn't want to have to swallow a bunch of capsules and vitamins. So I think it was about day 5, Alma, when I was sitting in my classroom and I had that dreadful, like, seventh period planning, and I realized, oh my gosh, I am pouring through these English compositions with a wonderful mental clarity. I don't feel like a ping pong ball. I haven't been craving my Diet Cokes. I was kind of the Diet Coke queen of upstairs. And I would run down between class periods and fill my pockets up with Diet Cokes, throw them to the teacher next door. It was always a running joke. And I was in a great mood with my seventh graders, which meant a lot to me. I didn't always sleep well at night. And let's face it, putting that Diet Coke in my body with all the aspartame, it was not great for my mood. And so when I realized that my seventh graders were not plucking my nerves, that things were rolling off my shoulders, I started thinking about the home front. And I started realizing, oh my gosh, Mike and I are not having those daily little spats about who's cleaning up dinner, who's giving the little guy a bath. I mean, I was just doing it and really not even realizing that I wasn't crashing, right? So I called Emily up and I said, I think I want to share the products. I know I can get them for free. And she said, well, you can do more than that. With 2 referrals, you're going to get them for free. But remember, you're a brand promoter, so you're going to make commission off the products as well. And that's where the journey for me starts of sharing the products, becoming a free brand promoter, and literally working my way out of the classroom. I always like to say I earned my freedom because I think it was about 10 years in out of my 14 that in my heart, I just started to question, am I really going to make 30 years in public ed? I feel really burnt out. And at some point I want my own children, and how am I going to handle it all? Will I be able to? So I always tell people, my husband has always been the one with the entrepreneurial mindset. And I would pray and pray about maybe some flexibility and options that could come in our life where I could use my gifts and talents of working with other people and supporting others and teaching others. And I always joke and say, you know what? The opportunity was thrown at me because when I prayed about it, I thought it was going to come to Mike. So that is kind of where the business side starts for me. And I know you had some questions you wanted me to touch on with that almost. So I'll throw it back to you quickly.
I just love your story. It just, every time I hear it, fills my heart. And just the difference that it's made. And it does. When we start thriving, it doesn't just change our lives, it changes everybody's around us. You were a better teacher. You were a better mom, a better wife, and that continues to get better and better. Okay, so you said you had no intentions. You clicked that promoter button because it was free to be a promoter, just to help a friend. You had no intentions of building that business. And here you are, several years later, you've hit a pretty amazing goal. Actually, it wasn't a goal to begin with, but an accomplishment with the company. And so can you just talk about, here you have a little guy at home, a little guy that you tried really hard to get, and you wanted to be the best mom ever. And you were working full time. And I know as a teacher, I don't know this personally, but as a teacher, it's not just while you're at school. You bring that home. You're continuing to work in the evenings, weekends, things like that. So talk about how you decided to share. Why did you decide to share? How did you do that? Yeah, take it away.
Sure. You're 110% right. I didn't really have the intention to share and make money from the products or while using the products. I had an okay experience years back with a skincare and cosmetics company that I dabbled with, but I just couldn't get behind the idea of always having to try to guess what products I should have on hand and go into people's homes. And I learned a lot from the people in that company years earlier, but it just wasn't my jam. When this cloud based model came along, I thought, this is really cool because, like you said, I taught all day. I had take home grading to do. And guys, I was an English teacher. I wasn't just multiple choice, I had compositions and grammar to grade and write comments on. My goodness, you got to have comments. So I had to take home work. My son was in the terrible twos, and I was finishing up my master's degree in administration. I had just always had this perfect little plan tied up with a neat and tidy bow. I'll teach about 15 years, and then I'll go into admin for like the last half of my career. Did I really want to? I'm not sure, but I knew that the classroom was burning me out. So I started having a lot of people at work say, oh my gosh, why aren't you drinking your Diet Cokes? How do you have this extra pep in your step? They started to notice that I wasn't coming down to the faculty lounge for lunch. I would sit in my classroom during that duty-free, unpaid time, and I would pour into my mindset with a podcast or with a call that was going on with the company. And then I started realizing, wow, these people on these calls, they sound just like me. There was anywhere from stay-at-home parents to doctors that were sharing and promoting the products. There were all kinds of schedules. And I earned a getaway with Lavelle, my very first getaway. And a young woman stood up named Brittany Williams, and she shared her story. And at the end, she said, why not me? She said, I had to ask myself, why not me, and truly go for it. And I think up until that getaway, Alma, I was just kind of going through the motions of being a brand promoter. Yeah, I'll tell people about the products. It's fun. I earned, a free car that I hadn't purchased yet. It was actually using my monthly payment to pay off my Pilot, my good old Honda Pilot. Sturdy, reliable, right? I was always play it safe kind of woman until this opportunity. And then, I love that I was earning these getaways, making some extra commission for my family. It actually brought us wiggle room. But when I heard Brittany say I had to ask myself the question, why not me? I knew that I owed it to myself and my family to go all in. And when I returned from that trip, it was a whirlwind and it was fun. I started getting up about a half an hour earlier before my family, and I started creating my content for social media since I was tied up and couldn't do that during the daytime. I started getting reach outs done in the morning of just simply asking people, have you heard of this product? Are you open to learning more? If not, no big deal. I started getting very strategic with my sampling. And guys, when I say I stole my time away, I did. I got up early in the mornings and knocked things out. I stayed up a bit longer in the evenings to knock some things out once my family had gone to bed. I utilized that duty-free half an hour lunchtime in my classroom. And any time that we were driving, anytime that we were sitting on the couch, whatever, I was following up with people. I was creating free accounts. I was getting the word out because I started to get really addicted to the messages coming in that shared things with me, such as, Ashley, I played on the floor with my grandchildren today and my knees didn't hurt. Or I had the energy to make it through my day and just keep going and move my body instead of coming and sitting on the couch and watching Netflix all evening. I haven't done that in years, Ash, and it made me feel proud of myself. Those messages are awesome. And then Alma, my first customers, they started clicking the brand promoter button. I wasn't even asking them. I was like making up their minds for them. Wasn't even asking them, hey, would you like to maybe make some commission while you're using this product and feeling good? I would get to the end of a school day when I couldn't have my phone in my hand, and all of a sudden I'd have all these emails. Stacy Nykirk, click the brand promoter button. Brandy Badorf, click the brand promoter button. And I thought, wow, I have a team. I didn't even know I was going to get a team. People are praying for a team. And here I've got one. And I was only a few weeks and months ahead of some of them with using the products. And I thought, you know what? I better figure this out. Do I want to lead this team, or do I want to say, oh, I'm tied up all day, you guys figure it out? And I think you know which path I chose. I chose to give my all during the daytime when I was in the classroom. And then in the evenings, my husband became my teammate when he saw what was happening every single Tuesday during our weekly payday and saw what this was doing for our family. He started taking things off of my plate. We were really tag teaming being parents. I was utilizing my earbuds to talk with people and provide three-way validation. I was literally making a game out of how to steal some time away and share this product with other people, and how to support my team with how to share the product, because I knew at some point I'm not going to be able to keep up with everyone. But if I can create some duplication here and create layered leadership, it's going to make my life a whole lot easier. So at 2 years into the company, I had reached the highest rank of the company, and I still kind of was in that fear-based mentality, Alma, where I thought, I'm going to go back and do one more year of school. And I sat down with my husband and sat down with my accountant, and they looked at me and said, you've earned your freedom. If you want to walk away, do it, because you are spending 7-8 hours away from this business. And look what you've done. What do you think you can do if you're home? And it was the scariest thing I ever did, was to walk away from all I knew for 14 years, right? From, hearing from a lot of people, well, what if it doesn't work? Well, here I am, guys. I'm going on 5 years of being at home, And not only have I hit the top rank in the company, but my team has continued to flourish, to grow organically. We don't do any advertisements. We, other than what we produce on social media. I'm proud of the community I've created, and I've now been able to achieve something that only about 0.01% of people in the company have achieved, less than 200 of us. And I can't wait for my husband to come with me to our convention, our Thrivepalooza convention in April, and see me walk across the stage to receive that honor. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but we have to be very, very careful anymore, guys. And I never like to put out unrealistic expectations if you jump into the business side. But the truth is, with the business side, if you work, this business pays you. That's why it's called network marketing. And I didn't realize just exactly how broken my mindset was when I was in the public education world until I left that, until I stepped off the boat and took a chance and said, well, let's see what happens. And now, never given that freedom up again. If something were to ever happen with this company, they've set me up in a wonderful way, and I now know my worth and my value. And that is something that I'm forever grateful to with Lavelle. They taught me my worth and value, and I would go and find another incredible opportunity where my life is not so controlled. So the products changed how I feel. The business changed my life, my family dynamic, our future, as far as, what that looks like financially. And it just brought an internal peace and mental well-being about me that I didn't have in my day job, Alma. So I'll shoot it back over to you.
I love that. I was gonna close up with talking about that freedom, but you kind of hit on it. So if you have anything to add or any closing thoughts, but it was about the people. Yes, you saw the options. The freedom option, you saw that you could be at home, you could be present in the lives of those that you loved. And it was about helping other people, and then helping other people reach those goals, not just feel good, but help them reaching those financial goals and completely change their life. But what does that freedom look like for you? It's not just, it's financial freedom, it's time freedom, it's creating a life. I mean, I have not quite made it to the freedom that you have, but I get to wake up every single morning and live the life that I created by helping other people. And I'm filled with joy all day long. I get to do things that I love. I don't dread things. So what does that freedom look like for you, from public education to pouring into every other person's children, which, yes, you loved, to now? I mean, Mike's home.
Yeah, I mean, well, the freedom is, okay, I'm not in survival mode. I know who I am as a person, and I know my worth. I know my value. We were put down a lot in public education if test scores weren't a certain way, or if one particular feedback would come in. So I know my worth. I know my value. I don't just go through the motions of life. I really do jump out of bed and get excited about the day. I don't live for the weekends and the summers anymore. What a waste of time that was when I just lived for the summers. And more than anything, it truly is about others. Like, if your heart is in that servant leadership place, you will not fail with this. Remember how I talked about I got addicted to seeing my customers win? Wait till you start having promoters say, I paid for all of my college semester books with my Lavelle income. Ashley, I'm paying for my daughter's wedding with my Lavelle income. Ashley, I saved up a down payment on a home with my Lavelle income. When those messages start coming in, you realize you're in the right place. And for me, I realized I'm using this teaching degree and this leadership master's degree every single day, and I'm helping people win.
Love that. I have absolutely nothing to add to that. You're amazing, Ashley. Thank you so much for hopping on. You have inspired me from day one. I am more than grateful for that day. I think in the airport in Vallarta that you came up to me, we had that conversation, and just watching your journey has been amazing. So love you, girl. Everybody, thanks for tuning in, and have a fantastic day.